Okay, here's number 8. Okay, a bungee jumper stands on a platform and has 20,000 joules of energy. Okay. The final state is when he is momentarily stopped at the bottom of the jump. Okay. All right, so let's think about this. How do we want to do this? All right, well, I have 20,000 joules of energy, okay? So probably I'm going to go ahead and divide this, okay? 20,000 divided by 5 is 400, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and label this 1,600. No, wait. 0, 4, 8, 16. Oh, 20,000. Oh, my God. 20,000 divided by 5 is 4,000. So 0, 4,000, 8,000, 12,000, 16,000, 20,000. Okay? All right, so all these are going to be the same. Make sure you label all of them. 4,000, 8,000, 12, 16, 20. Okay, and then 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay. All right. Terrific. Okay, so, all right, so let's see what we want to choose for the positions, because it doesn't tell us too much. So the initial, okay, he's standing here, and it looks like he's going to bungee jump, and there's like this cord, okay? And then I don't know about the middle. We'll wait and see what we want to do with that. And then the final, I guess we better put a platform out here, okay? He is momentarily stopped at the bottom of the jump, okay? All right, so initially, let's look and see what he's got, okay? Is he above the ground? Yes. Is he moving? Doesn't appear to be. Is anything stretched or compressed? No, not yet, because he hasn't even jumped, okay? So that means that there is only going to be EG, okay? So we're going to have to let that total energy be 20,000 for the EG, okay? And that's what we've got to work with, okay? All right, the final state, he's momentarily stopped at the bottom of the jump, okay? So it says he's stopped, so that means no EK. All right. Is he above the ground? Maybe, depending on where we set the ground. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just set the ground here. Okay, right? Although, if you wanted to, you could, again, like we've been saying, you could set the ground here where he's at the bottom and then make that an EG of 0. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as it's clear what you're doing. Okay, so if you're going to set it somewhere that's not like the actual ground level, like that's obvious, make sure you mark that, okay? All right, but I'm going to go ahead and keep the ground, okay? So he's going to have some amount of EG. I'm just going to give him like 400 to start with, okay? And then the EE has to be the rest of it, right? Because that cord is super stretched there, all right? So if it's 420,000 total, that means I need 16,000 in the EG. Okay, so 4,000 plus 16,000, and that should be the same total. Okay, all right, so my EG, I'm going to say slightly above ground. EK, 0, because she's not moving. EE, cord, very stretched. Okay, so a lot of EE, okay? And I'm not going to worry about any air friction or any of that. Again, whenever possible, we're going to just ignore that, okay? And it doesn't say I have to include it, so I'm going to just be like, nope, just ignore it, okay? All right, so now I just have to worry about the middle state, okay? And I have to figure out where I want to draw it, okay? You could draw it in any number of places, right? So you could draw it where the cord is still slack, right? Because there's going to be some time that she's falling or someone's falling before the cord actually engages, okay? Or you could do it sort of like where the cord is partially engaged, okay? So either way you want to do it, you just, as long as you're very clear about it, okay? I'm probably just going to do it when the cord is just about to be engaged, okay? All right, so is he above the ground? Yes, okay. More than this guy. less than the first guy. So maybe let's try 12,000, see how that plays out. Okay. Is he going to be moving now? Yeah, for sure, right? And probably relatively fast. So I'm going to give him some whooshies here. Okay. And the chord I'm saying is not engaged yet. So EE chord not stretched yet. Okay. So you're trying to help me understand what you mean. Okay. Like part way above ground. And the EK, he's moving pretty fast because of the whooshies. Okay. All right. So if the whole thing is going to be 20,000, then I'm going to need another 8,000 to get to 20,000, right? Because I got to keep my total the same. Okay. EG, high up. EK, 0, not moving. EE, 0, not stretched. Okay. Okay. So let's go through our little checklist and let's see how we feel about this. I read the problem. I circled all the things. That was good. Okay. I checked that my state diagrams show a consistent background. Yes, they do. I have my same EG equals 0 level. I see the platform. Okay. My EG bars are consistent. Okay. So the place where the guy is the highest has the most EG. The middle height has like a middle EG. The lowest height has a low EG. Okay. Good. That looks good. Okay, check my EK bars. Not moving, no whooshies. Moving pretty fast with whooshies, okay, some amount of kinetic energy. And not moving here because he's at that very bottom state, so no kinetic energy, okay? Good. My EEs, okay, I say there's no EE here. The chord looks pretty slack. Okay, here, the chord still looks pretty slack. No EE, and I've explained it down here. Okay, that chord looks stretched, okay, which means a lot of EE, so that's good, and I've set it down here, okay? I got 20,000, 12 plus 8 is 20,000, 4 plus 16 is 20,000. Great, this one looks, oops, I do that every time. This one looks good, okay?